Hello there, you guys. Welcome to another one of my live videos, and today I'm just going to be officially updating you on some more current and latest news. So if you do consider drop your likes on the video, and if you do consider subscribe to the channel as always. So I'm going to be updating you on some transfer news that's going on that's been going on in the media yesterday, and it is currently going on today as well. So according to reports, the first topic of the development I'm going to discuss with you is in relation to Anton Greizeman, because obviously he's been a Manchester United target in the past as well. So reports are coming out according to the Spanish press. Reportedly Manchester United are the favourites to sign Anton Greizeman from Atletico Madrid this summer. Reportedly he's attracted interest from quite a few other teams as well. It's also said that Bayern Munich have reportedly been interested. It also said that PSG have also been interested in Anton Greizeman as well, and it's probably likely he will leave Atletico Madrid this summer, because I think from his own perspective that he wants to leave Atletico Madrid this summer, because he's obviously a player, and a player of his calibre, and a player of his quality wants to be up there challenging for silverware. And I think he's increasingly become frustrated with Atletico Madrid lack of silverware, especially this season, as I currently said, because they're not they're not challenging up there for silverware, Atletico Madrid. And obviously Griezmann's a player that wants to be up there challenging for silverware and winning silverware of course as well, because he has been at Atletico Madrid a number of years now. As Greizemann is obviously an ex-Real Sociedad player as well, so I think he has spent most of his playing career in Spain as well, as Anton Griezmann. And of course he's never played in the Premier League, and of course if he was to come to the Premier League, it would be good for him, to experience the Premier League as well. So I think now he's becoming increasingly, frustrated with Atletico Madrid. So as reports do currently say that he does want to leave Atletico Madrid this summer, and it's likely he will leave because his release clause is initially £171 million, I think, but this summer his release clause is set to drop by nearly £70 million, I think, by nearly £70 million, I think. So I think this summer his release clause will be around £100 million, will Griezmann as well. So obviously now teams will have a better opportunity of getting Griezmann this summer as well. So reports are saying that actually Manchester United are the favourites to sign him. Of course he'll probably still cost us around £100 million, because his release clause will be £100 million this summer, but it is set to reduce from about £171 million to £100 million is Griezmann's release clause this summer. He only signed a new 5-year deal with Atletico Madrid last summer. He's still under contract with Atletico Madrid till 2023 as well. But the Spanish press report that Manchester United are the favourites to sign him. He turned down the opportunity to join Barcelona last summer as well, because Barcelona were heavily linked with him before, but I don't think Barcelona are interested in him now, because when he signed that new contract with Atletico Madrid, Griezmann, last summer, I think that called Barcelona's interest in Griezmann as well. So there's quite a few teams in for Anton Griezmann, and of course I think it'd be a great addition if he comes to Manchester United. To be quite honest, he's 27, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. Obviously he's a prolific goal scorer as well. If he was to come to Manchester United, it would be beneficial for him as well, because he could link up with Paul Pogba and Anthony Martial, his French teammates and all that as well. And he does have a good friendship, a good friendship, and a good relationship, with Paul Pogba as well. There's Anton Griezmann. Obviously we know a couple of years back, Manchester United, were on the verge of getting Anton Griezmann at the time, but obviously due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban, Manchester United, we failed in our pursuit of Anton Griezmann, because obviously at that point Atletico Madrid, couldn't find an adequate replacement for Griezmann, obviously, because obviously Atletico Madrid had currently got that transfer ban, as I said. But a couple of years back, he actually did want to join Manchester United, did Griezmann, because he was saying it all on social media and all that, and he was tweeting out saying that he wanted to join Manchester United and all that. And he said when he didn't join, he regretted the decision and all that. But due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban at that moment in time, that period of time, obviously Atletico Madrid weren't willing to let him go, so he failed to currently get Griezmann, of course, well. But he's a prolific goal scorer, he leads the lines well, he's very, very good in the air, and he'd be a great addition, if he was to come to Manchester United as well. So we have identified him as our target, for this summer as well, and he is an absolutely quality player indeed. So there's been reports going out about that. So reportedly Manchester United are the front runners, to sign Anton Griezmann reportedly as well. And of course, there's been other targets, Manchester United have been interested, and we do know, obviously, and Atletico Madrid as well, players we've been linked with, in the past has also been Diego Godin as well, he's been another player that has been mentioned as well. But as I did say, as I did update you yesterday, reports were coming out about Raphael Varane yesterday, because obviously we do need a centre back, this summer, without a shadow of a doubt, and we need a world class centre back. We need an experienced centre back, because we haven't had a world class centre back, since we had the likes of Vidic and Ferdinand and all that as well. And we need someone in that central defensive area, to go alongside Lindelof, to be quite honest here. I don't know if we'll get Raphael Varane this summer, but reports came out yesterday suggesting that Raphael could reportedly, consider leaving Real Madrid this summer. Reportedly, obviously we know that Zinedine Zidane has obviously just been reappointed as Real Madrid manager, but reports coming out saying that reportedly Raphael Varane, could leave Real Madrid this summer. Reportedly, after he has been there a number of years, Raphael Varane, he's only aged 25. He's still got a lot of years ahead of him as Raphael Varane, as we all know as well, and he's only 25 years of age, and he's won a host of honours. He's won a host of honours as Raphael Varane. I think he's won about 15 major honours with Real Madrid. I think this is his 8th season now at Real Madrid. He's made over 200 odd appearances in all competitions as well as Raphael Varane. And Manchester United, he's been a Manchester United target in the past as Raphael Varane, as we all know as well. And he'd be really, really good for Manchester United. If we could get him, he adapts every area of his game very, very well. Very good on the ball, very good in the air as well. Reads the game very, very well. And him and Lindelof in our defensive area, would look very, very good together. And I think they'd blend fantastically well together, because Raphael Varane is an absolutely quality player indeed, and he's only 25 years of age, of course, and he's already won like 15 major honours as well. Obviously, he actually began his career with Lens, did Raphael Varane, of course, as well. He only spent 1 season in the senior team as well, but he's been at Real Madrid since 2011 as well as Raphael Varane. But we have been linked with him in the past as well, so reports coming out saying that he could leave Real Madrid this summer as well. And yeah, so they are the type of players that Manchester United should be targeting, the likes of Greizeman, who's only 27, Raphael Varane, who's only 25 and stuff like that. And I know that reports have been coming out in relation to Gareth Bale as well. I don't want Gareth Bale at Manchester United. I do not want Gareth Bale at Manchester United. Maybe 2 or 3 years ago, he was one of the best players in world football, was Gareth Bale. But now he's I think, if we were to get Gareth Bale, obviously we know he's past his sell-by date. He's nearly 30 years of age now. He's Gareth Bale. He's nowhere near at the level that he was. To be quite honest with you, he's also got a record of injuries and he's injury prone, of course, as well. And he's expensive. Is Gareth Bale? I think Real Madrid don't want him anymore anyway. Real Madrid want to sell Gareth Bale this summer. Of course, they'll find it hard to recoup the initial £86 million. They paid for him from Tottenham 6 years ago, back in 2013. But Real Madrid could still get 55, 60 million pounds for Gareth Bale, quite easily. But I just don't want Manchester United to sign him. Maybe you get 80-90% of Man U fans that'll say they don't want him, but maybe you might get the odd 5% or 10% that say we want Gareth Bale. And he's up to Ed Woodward at the end of the day. Solskjaer might not want Bale, but Ed Woodward might want to recommend, Bale to come in this summer as well. But for me, he's aging up, he's injury prone and all that as well. Even though he's still got a good, really, really good ratio and all that as Gareth Bale. And obviously, he's Premier League proven, of course, because, he had 6 years with Tottenham and all that. And obviously, all his silverware he has won has obviously, come at Real Madrid as Bale's, and this is what his 6th season now with Real Madrid. And we know he's been linked to a move to Manchester United, since like 2013. So we have been, there's been narratives going on about, since 2013, of course, as well. Maybe if we'd have got him maybe a year or 2 ago, it may be been a different story. But now he's aging up, he's too old, he's injury prone and all that. And his actual wages are around £650,000 a week as well, of Bale's, of course, as well. But I think he's on his way out of Real Madrid, and he has still got a contract with them till 2022 and all that as well. I think if he had the opportunity, he would come back to the Premier League, would Bale, but he would be expensive indeed. And Solskjaer does know, that Manchester United do need a couple of quality players this summer, and we do want to elevate to that high level. And I do believe Solskjaer can take us forward, but as I did currently say, we do need some new additions to come to the club in the summer as well. If we are going to be potentially, contending, for the title in the new season as well, and we are going to be up there, and start challenging for trophies and all that, we need signings this summer, of course, as well. So Bale got mentioned, but I don't want Gareth Bale at Manchester United, to be quite honest with you. And I'd love Jadon Sancho, to come to Manchester United, to be quite honest with you, because I highly rate Jadon Sancho, to be quite honest with you. He's a really, really good player, and they are the type of players, that we should be looking at. He's very, very young. He's only 18 years of age. Of course, he only got into the England first team last year. I think he's on international duty now, is he? Jadon Sancho as well. It did say Manchester United, were prepared to pay up to £100 million for Jadon Sancho, and that, is a lot of money, you know, to be quite honest, for a young 18-year-old. He is mainly a winger, and I think Jadon Sancho would be the solution, you know, to Manchester United's problems, to be quite honest, because Solskjaer himself has obviously identified, you know, the areas where he thinks Manchester United, you know, do need to strengthen up. Of course, I think his priority, as recent reports did say last week, or was it whenever it was, that you know, his priority is to recommend a right winner to come to Manchester United as well. And Jadon Sancho, you know, is a winger. His course is English as well. He's 18. I think he'd be a great addition to the team with Jadon Sancho. And it did say Manchester United, you know, are prepared to pay up to £100 million for Jadon Sancho as well. And this would make him the most expensive English footballer ever, of course, as well. And obviously, you know, he's been in English football before, you know, because he did serve a couple of years with Manchester City, as we all know, but obviously he didn't get in the first team. And this is the majority of the reason why he departed Man City and went to Dortmund, of course, as well. And at that time, you know, Manchester United, you know, were linked with him a couple of years ago as well. At that moment in time, he actually began his youth career with Watford as well, and he has grown, developed, and flourished, you know, fantastically well as Jadon Sancho. But I think we've identified him actually, you know, as our number one summer target, you know, Jadon Sancho as well. And Borussia Dortmund only paid £8 million for him a couple of years back, you know, from Manchester City. So financially, Borussia Dortmund would make a huge profit on the player. But I think Borussia Dortmund do know how much of an essential player he is, and it would take a bid in the excess of at least £80 million, you know, to maybe convince, you know, Borussia Dortmund, you know, to sanction him off as well. But they are the type of players, you know, we should be looking at. Someone who's got immense talent, someone who's got the ability to attack, score goals, and that's what Jadon Sancho has proven as a Borussia Dortmund player, you know, since he's broke into the first team, as I said. So there's been talks about him, you know, going on in the last 3 or 4 weeks, you know, there's been a narrative going on about as well, about Jadon Sancho. And I know we've been hearing rumours about Icardi as well. Reports have been coming out saying that reportedly he's been at Manchester United target as well, you know, as Icardi from Inter Milan. I don't think he's been a priority, but he has been a Manchester United target because Manchester United have showed an interest in Icardi as well. And I do really like Icardi. Again, he's a prolific, proven goal scorer. He's 26 years of age, you know, just recently turned 26. Very good on the ball, good box to box. He's an efficient finisher. As I said, he's a prolific goal scorer as well. And he's been in Italy, you know, a number of years now as you know, Icardi, as we all know, with Inter Milan. He's been in Italy a number of years. I think this is his 6th season now with Inter Milan. Is Icardi's, as I said. I think his release clause is around £100 million. Is Icardi's, you know, to be quite honest with you, I think it did mention. But I think Inter Milan are demanding that they want around £68 million for Icardi reportedly as well. And he's a really good player. And again, he'd be a great addition, you know, if he was to come to Manchester United, of course. I think Inter Milan are prepared to cash in for him this summer because obviously not too long ago he's just lost the captain's armband, is Icardi. And of course, Inter Milan, I think, are increasingly, you know, becoming frustrated as well, as we all currently know, you know, Inter Milan increasingly becoming frustrated with Icardi as well. But this is 6th season now at Inter Milan. He's a proven prolific goal scorer. As I said, he's still got a lot of years ahead of him. You know, it would be good for him, you know, to experience the Premier League, of course. Of course, as we all know, this is 6th season now with Inter Milan. Of course, he's Inter Milan's 9th highest top goal scorer of all time as well, is Icardi. But I think Inter Milan are prepared to cash in for him this summer, of course, as well. And I think obviously scored over like a century of goals, you know, as Icardi. Obviously, the majority of his goals have obviously, you know, come at Inter Milan as well, you know, of Icardi's. He had an impressive season, you know, with Sampdoria when he was younger. He only had 1 season with Sampdoria. He actually began his youth career with Barcelona as well, so he did graduate from Barcelona's youth system, did Icardi as well. So I think Inter Milan are prepared to cash in for Icardi in the summer as well. They're prepared to cash in for Icardi as well. And other news, I was updating you on yesterday night, as you'd have all been hearing in the press as well, you know, that was going on in relation to David De Gea and Courtois and all that as well. Because obviously now, as I did say to you guys, that Zinedine Zidane has obviously, you know, been reappointed Real Madrid manager, and he has signed a contract with Real Madrid till 2022. And obviously, he's already planning for investment this summer with Real Madrid. And reportedly, Florentino Perez is giving him a £300 million spending spree to spend this summer. And obviously, Zinedine Zidane, you know, has identified, you know, quite a few targets he's interested in recommending, you know, to go to Real Madrid. And I think one of his targets that he's obviously, you know, interested in is David De Gea, because Zinedine Zidane is an admirer of David De Gea, of course, as well. So what was reported in the press yesterday, to be quite honest with you. There was talks that Real Madrid were eyeing a swap deal, between Courtois and David De Gea reportedly as well. So that means obviously Courtois to come to the Premier League to Manchester United and David De Gea to go to Real Madrid and all that as well. But reportedly Courtois had snubbed this Manchester United move, and Courtois has no interest in this potential swap deal reportedly. But even though he's enjoyed a difficult season with Real Madrid, Courtois, Real Madrid only got him last summer from Chelsea, of course, as well. I can't remember how much it was. Was it around £35 million? But now I think Real Madrid are set to revive their interest in David De Gea, because Real Madrid have obviously been long admirers of David De Gea, of course, as well. The rumours had gone away, for quite a while, but obviously now Zinedine Zidane's been reappointed in, the rumours have started again, as we all know as well. And obviously Real Madrid were on the verge of getting him, back in 2015, of course, as well. But due to fax machine, Real Madrid didn't get De Gea, and he remained loyal to Manchester United as well. And I still think he's very, very happy with Manchester United. He's David De Gea, to be quite honest with you. We are still in negotiations of getting him a new contract at the club as well. And hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement, to get David De Gea a new contract at Manchester United, of course. Reports did say before that he was demanding that he wants to be the highest paid player alongside Alexis Sanchez at Manchester United. There's David De Gea. So at that moment, it did say that reportedly he was demanding wages in the excess of around £400,000 a week. But now reports do say Manchester United are still in talks over a new £350,000 a week deal with David De Gea, of course, as well. So I probably still think he'll end up staying with Manchester United, to be quite honest, because he's been here a number of years now. This is his 7th, 8th season at Manchester United, of course, as well. And he's been essential over the years, and he still is essential now, because potentially he's the best goalkeeper in the world. He's made over 300 appearances in all competitions as David De Gea. He's made 100 Premier League clean sheets. He's won everything here domestically in English football as well. So I hope that he does stay at Manchester United, David De Gea, and hopefully somewhere along the line, we can come to an agreement of getting him a new contract. Obviously, last year we activated a 12-month extension, so obviously he's under contract here until at least until the summer of 2020 as well. But yeah, we know Real Madrid have been long admirers of him, because obviously he's had a lot of experience playing in Spain. When he was a lot younger in his prime, obviously he was at Atletico Madrid where he progressed up the ranks, and his relatives from Spain and all that as well. But I think now Solskjaer's coming, I think De Gea is happy at Manchester United. He was discussing a while back, about our ambitions, being up there, challenging for silverware and all that, and winning the Champions League and stuff like that. This is what De Gea, was negotiating about a while back. But I think he's happy at Manchester United, and he does want to commit his long-term future with Manchester United, does De Gea as well. But he did say Real Madrid are set to revive their interest in him as well. But for me, as I did say, I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is definitely, the right man for Manchester United, without a shadow of a doubt. Even though we suffered back-to-back defeats, before the, we suffered back-to-back defeats, I still think he's the right man for Manchester United. And hopefully after this international break, we can get prepared and we can get back to winning ways as well. And I still think Solskjaer will get the job full-time, to be quite honest with you. Initially, it did say Manchester United want to announce it, before the end of this month, reportedly. But we definitely do want to announce it before the end of the season. Of course, it's still not guaranteed. He will get the job, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because obviously, it's still a possibility that Man United is still looking at the possibility of Pochettino. As I did say the other day, as reports coming out saying that, like the likes of Ed Woodward still may want Pochettino as Manchester United manager, of course, as well. I wouldn't, to be quite honest with you, because Pochettino doesn't know about the club. Obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows the club inside out, after being a great player for 11 years under Alex Ferguson, and he flourished under Alex Ferguson fantastically well and won trophies and all that. And obviously, we're still obviously, looking to hire a director of footballer to come in as well. So obviously, we need to address all that as well. Reportedly, we're going to get around £200 million to spend this summer as well, as we all know. And obviously, it is essential that we get that we obviously get Champions League football for next season anyway, of course, as well. It is essential that we get Champions League football for next season, because obviously, we want to have a competitive summer transfer window, and we do want to get the, the right players into Manchester United, for the new season as well. But reportedly, we are going to get around £200 million to spend this summer. And as I did say, we do expect players, to leave Manchester United this summer as well. But so far, we know that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, hasn't got a great managerial pedigree, as we all currently know, in terms of like winning any major honours and all that as well. And he hasn't really had a long tenure as manager at the moment. He had a short tenure with Cardiff. He served a couple of years managing. He only had a couple of years managing the reserve team with Solskjaer. He had two separate spells there with Molde as well. well. But I think if we are to give him the job on a full-time basis, he'll probably want a tenure at Manchester United. Probably he'll be thinking about the head of the next 5 or 10 years or something like that. He did say he has got a 10-year plan, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and all that as well. And he'd only be a cheap alternative. He'd only cost us around £7-8 million, with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well, to get him in on a full-time base. Because initially at the moment we've paid 1.8 million, but we've done really, really well considering that we've had a lot of injuries. Most recently, we've had a string of injuries. We didn't invest in the January transfer window as well. But we've had a lot of injuries. But the good news is now, players are starting, to come back from injury, which is very, very good indeed. But for me, Solskjaer definitely the right man for Manchester United. He's getting the best out of the players. He's, rejuvenated the team. He's done really, really well, and you can't criticise, what Ole Gunnar Solskjaer has done, because every team, has a bad period. We've suffered back-to-back defeats. Every team has a bad period, and hopefully, we can bounce back from that. As I currently said, but yeah, so maybe some people have different opinions, thinking that maybe Solskjaer, hasn't got the managerial experience, of taking his club, forward, or managing the team full time. Some people may think, we need to recommend a manager who's got more managerial experience, who's obviously got a better pedigree than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But for me, I think Solskjaer is definitely the right man for Manchester United. My opinions won't change. Obviously, he's been discussing anywhere, Solskjaer, about the club's transfer plans and all that as well. And I think it did say he's demanding that he wants around 4 signings this summer. I think he's actually suggested this to the board as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as well. But as I already said to you, players are going to leave Manchester United without a shadow of a doubt, as we all know. We know Valencia's on his way out of the club. He's leaving Manchester United this summer, of course, as well. After we opted against that decision to trigger that 1-year extension, Valencia's on his way out of Manchester United at the moment. Or, of course, he's currently out with a calf injury, as we all know as well. So Valencia's out with a calf injury, and he's leaving. He's been here 10 years now anyway, so he has been a long servant for Manchester United. I think he's on his way out this summer. Darmian's on his way out this summer as well. Again, enjoyed a difficult time as a Manchester United player, Matteo Darmian. Sanchez is a likely player that's going to leave Manchester United this summer as well. I think Juventus, it did say Juventus are willing to offer Alexis Sanchez a escape route. Reportedly it's going to be hard to actually find a buy for Alexis Sanchez, considering the staggering amount of wages that Alexis Sanchez is on at Manchester United, and his wages are absolutely ridiculous. To quite honest, he's on over £500,000 a week. The best player in the Premier League, as we all know, is Alexis Sanchez. But I think he's on his way out of Manchester United. He's enjoyed a very, very difficult time here. I think he's definitely on the decline. Is Sanchez. He's enjoyed a difficult time here. This is 14th month now as a Manchester United player, and he struggled to fit under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's system. And I think Solskjaer himself has lost faith in him. He's lost trustworthy in him and all that as well. And he's enjoyed quite a difficult time at Manchester United, because he's sustained quite a few injuries. He's out now with a knee injury. Of course, is Alexis Sanchez, as we all know. So initially it did say he's going to be out, for 4 to 6 weeks, as I said. But when he has been given the opportunity, he just looks so restricted as Sanchez. He just looks so restricted as Sanchez. He just looks as though he hasn't been getting that freedom. When he has been playing, and he just hasn't been good enough, and he hasn't lived up to expectation levels, and he's nowhere near the player he was at Arsenal. Sanchez, of course, as well, and he's just a total flop for Manchester United. And Manchester United may even consider getting him out on loan in the summer, because it's obviously going to be hard to find an absolute, a buyer for him, considering the amount of wages he currently receives at Manchester United as well. So I think he's on his way out, and I think he'll end up, losing that number 7 shirt, to be quite honest here as well. And as I did currently say, there was still talks, that possibly Romelu Lukaku could leave Manchester United this summer. That Lukaku could leave Manchester United this summer, reportedly as well. Reports, if Manchester United do decide to sell Lukaku this summer, reportedly he has pinpointed, that he would make the move to Juventus, with Romelu Lukaku. If Manchester United, do decide to sanction him off this summer. Obviously, we'll look to recoup the initial £75 million, we did pay for Lukaku and all that as well. So I don't know if Man United are going to sell Lukaku this summer, to be quite honest, because initially he lost his place in the team with Romelu Lukaku. But obviously, as we know, most recently. You know, he's regained his position back in the team as Romelu Lukaku, and his performances have really, really improved. And I think his performances have improved, you know, since Solskjaer's come in. So I think Lukaku's form has been rejuvenated, you know, fantastically well, because he's been in really, really good form. You know, he's been scoring goals and all that as well. And overall, you know, he's got a really, really good pedigree in the Premier League as Romelu Lukaku, as we all know as well. His pedigree in the Premier League, you know, is really, really good. So his ratio is very, very good. We all know he's slow, and we do have concerns about his first touch and all that, you know, Romelu Lukaku's. But obviously, at the moment, he's obviously out with an ankle injury, you know, that he sustained against PSG. So I don't know how long he's initially out for. I haven't heard much news about it recently, but I did say, obviously now it's the international break, and it did say he was going to be missing the Belgium's upcoming games, you know, during the international break as well. It is an ankle injury. Don't know how long he's initially out for. Hopefully he's back for the Barcelona game in the Champions League quarter-final first leg as well. But it's an ankle injury. He's been assessed. He's been sent for the scan and all that as well. So hopefully, you know, it's not too severe, you know, it's quite honest. But I think Lukaku looks very, very effective, you know, when he's getting that support up front, you know, from Marcus Rashford and all that. You know, he looks very, very effective indeed. Lukaku's not reliable enough, you know, when he's up top, you know, to do it on his own. But when he's getting that support up front, you know, from Marcus Rashford, you know, I think he performs much, much better indeed does Lukaku. So yeah, he's got an ankle injury at the moment. So possibly Manchester United, you know, could sell him in the summer, as I said, you know, because we maybe have to sell a couple of players, you know, to fund moves for the likes of Jadon Sancho and all that as well. You know, don't forget that's going to cost us in the excess of at least probably £80 million to have any chances of getting Jadon Sancho in the summer as well. And obviously, you know, there's still a few contract renewals to sort out as well. You know, reports came out about Marcus Rashford yesterday as well, saying that Manchester United have been in talks, you know, of getting Marcus Rashford a new 5-year deal at Manchester United as well. Obviously, it did say reportedly, you know, we haven't come to some kind of agreement yet, you know, to give him this new 5-year deal, reportedly as well, you know, Marcus Rashford. But reports do say Manchester United, if, you know, talks do continue to drag on, reportedly Manchester United, you know, will trigger a 12-month extension, reportedly on Rashford's contract term as well, because Rashford's been a very good player, and, you know, he deserves a contract, you know, based on his fantastic performances, you know, does Marcus Rashford. You know, he deserves a fantastic contract, you know, he deserves a contract, does Marcus Rashford, of course, as well, because he's been a very good player for Manchester United, as I said. You know, he's been in United players since the age of 7, you know, he's progressed up the ranks very well. He's been in the first team of Manchester United, you know, since 2016, don't forget, as well as Marcus Rashford. He's been in the first team since 2016, and, you know, he's been playing a key role under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. As I did say, you know, he's like lightning, he's good at getting them runs in behind him and all that, and he's still 21 years of age, of course, as well. Of course, yes, you know, when he sustained that ankle injury, you know, against Liverpool in that 0-0 draw, since he's recovered from that ankle injury, we know that Rashford hasn't been the same player for Manchester United, because he hasn't been playing to his potential best, as we all know. But he's still been playing a key role under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, and he still deserves a new contract, you know, based on his fantastic performances. Under Herrera as well, you know, deserves a new contract based on his fantastic performances. You know, just recently recovered from a hamstring injury as well under Herrera. But overall, you know, he's been a really good player as under Herrera, and I've been very impressed, you know, with his performances, you know, under Herrera's of course as well. You know, he's been playing more regularly since Solskjaer's coming. He's been good at breaking the play as well under Herrera. And I think he's always been a consistent player since we did get him from Bilbao, you know, back in 2015 or 2014, you know, we got under Herrera from Bilbao. I think it was actually, you know, 2014. So he's been here now 5 years as you know, under Herrera of course as well. But I do really like under Herrera. Very good player indeed, and he does deserve a new contract, you know, based on his fantastic performances as well. And he does fit in that midfield trio very well. You know, obviously, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's first choice midfield trio is obviously Herrera, Matic, and Pogba, because they look very effective. Obviously now, you know, they've come back from injury, and Matic and Herrera, he'll obviously revert back to, you know, Herrera, Matic, and Pogba as a midfield as well. Even though when obviously the likes of Matic were injured, of course Herrera were injured, you know, obviously, you know, we allowed opportunities for the likes of, you know, Fred, Pereira, and McTominay. And I thought, you know, obviously when Herrera and Matic were injured, I thought, you know, they put good performances out. You know, McTominay played well. You know, I thought Andres Pereira played well in most recent weeks as well. And people are talking, like, saying, you know, they should have been given the chance against Wolves, to be quite honest. You know, with obviously Herrera just coming back from injury, Matic not too long ago as well, you know, just recovering from injury as well, because, you know, they've been in good form recently, you know, fulfilling them spots, you know, because obviously, you know, Herrera injured, Matic was injured. I thought, you know, Andres Pereira and McTominay, you know, played well, you know, to be quite honest with you, as I currently said. So hopefully somewhere along the line, you know, we can come to an agreement of getting Ander Herrera a new contract at Manchester United as well. And obviously, as I updated you yesterday, as we all know, as well, you know, reports were coming out, as we all know, as well, you know, in relation to Costas Manolas, as well. I know he's been another potential Manchester United target. He hasn't been a priority, I don't think, but Manchester United, you know, have been linked to Costas Manolas in the past as well. So it did reportedly say, according, I think it was a report from the Italian press yesterday, suggested out saying that reportedly Manchester United or Arsenal could land Costas Manolas for the bargain fee. So reportedly Manchester United or Arsenal could land Costas Manolas in a cut price fee. Reportedly, if Roma do fail to qualify for the Champions League next season, reportedly as well. And reports do say if they don't get in the top four this season in Italy, you know, Roma reportedly, you know, Costas Manolas, you know, will be allowed to leave Roma this summer. Reportedly as well, he'll be allowed to leave Roma this summer. He has got a release clause of around £31 million, as we all know, as Costas Manolas. From Roma's perspective, reportedly they want to remove his release clause so they can, you know, invest a bit more money on the player as well. But Arsenal have been linked with him. Manchester United have also, you know, been linked with Costas Manolas as well. I've discussed with you about him, you know, before a while back, but obviously the rumours have just started again, as we all know. But his release clause is around £31 million, because that's his release clause in his Roma contract, of course, as well. And he's a centre back. He's 27 years of age, of course, as well. He is Greek, is his defender. I don't really know much about him, to be quite honest with you, but I know he's not a world-class central defender, of what I heard anywhere. But yeah, he's 27 years of age. He has still got a lot of years ahead of him. He's been at Roma a number of years now. I think this is his fifth season now in the process with Roma. I think he joined Roma in 2014 for around £15 million, or was it 15 million euros, or something like I'm not too sure. And obviously he used to play for Olympiacos. He had a couple of years there. He used to play for Athens, you know. He had a couple of years there, you know, did Costas Manolas as well. So his name has also been mentioned in the media as well, and he's mainly a centre back as well. So reportedly Manchester United, you know, could get him for a reasonable fee this summer, of course, as well. But it's very, very essential that we do get a centre back into Manchester United this summer. Even though recently Solskjaer wasn't interested in buying defenders this summer, you know, as he was explaining, he's focused on more attacking additions to the squad, as well as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. So yeah, so the main part of this video is to, as I did actually update yesterday, is to give you an update on Anton Greizeman, as I currently wanted to do. So reports coming out now, according for the Spanish press, the Spanish newspaper outlet, reportedly saying that Manchester United are the front runners and are the favourites to land Greizeman this summer. And obviously now it's going to put more teams on alert, of course, you know, obviously now with his release clause, you know, dropping by £70 million this summer, and it's reducing by £70 million, you know, which is very, very good. So obviously now it's likely he will depart Atletico Madrid this summer, you know, Anton Greizeman as well. So it reportedly said that Man United are the favourites, you know, to actually sign him. Of course, his release clause will be £100 million this summer as well. He has still got a contract with Atletico Madrid till 2023, and don't forget he signed this new deal only last summer, and he was on the verge of actually, you know, joining Barcelona last summer, but he actually wanted to remain loyal to Atletico Madrid, and he ended up signing a new contract with Atletico Madrid. So he turned Barcelona down, even though I thought he was actually, you know, going to go to Barcelona, you know, Greizeman as well. But it's now saying he's a United target, he's a Bayern Munich target, reportedly as well. Bayern Munich have got quite a few aging up players in their squad as well. Griezmann's 27, so he's still actually, you know, got a lot of years ahead of him as Griezmann, as we all know as well. He's also said that PSG have also, you know, been interested in him as well. So yeah, there's been a lot of, you know, rumours going on about that, but he's saying Man United are the favourites to sign him. Of course, at the time, you know, a couple of years back, you know, Man United, you know, should have got him, you know, but obviously due to Atletico Madrid's transfer ban, you know, we didn't get him, and at that time, obviously we had number 7 vacant, and obviously we thought at that point we was getting him, and we was talking a lot about it, saying no, Griezmann, you know, could fulfill that number 7 role, you know, to be quite honest with you, because at that time, you know, we had number 7 vacant, you know, to be quite honest with you, as we all know. But yeah, and you know, he has a good friendship with Paul Pogba and a good relationship with Paul Pogba, you know, there's Griezmann, as we all know, and you know, he also, you know, Martial's French as well, you know, Pogba's French, so he could link up with them, you know, if he was to come to Manchester United this summer as well. But obviously he's a player that wants to be up there, elevating to that higher level. He's 27, he's a prolific goal scorer, of course, he's a world-class forward as well, and he's a player that wants to be up there, you know, challenging, and obviously, you know, winning major honours and all that as Griezmann, and he hasn't really done that, you know, really, at Atletico Madrid, you know, to be quite honest with you. So anyway, guys, drop your comments, likes below on the channel, if you do consider subscribe, as always, guys.